Hi everyone and welcome to another painting tutorial. So I wanted to take you through how I paint a flower on a cloak. So I decided to pick up one of my unpainted Lumineth Realm Lords models, the Lawseeker. So as you can see, I've just got a base coat down of Nocturne Green, and I'm just going to start with some Lauren Forest to just begin getting a nice outline for the flower. Now I definitely made things a little difficult on myself by choosing this particular model. As you can see, there's a lot of creases in the cloak, so it wasn't exactly easy to get this design. But I also figured, in a way, showing you on something like a cloak like this that's a little bit more complex to get a design like this, then if you're working on something with a bit more of a flat surface, you might find it that little bit easier as well. So as you can see, just getting a nice little outline on the flower petals. And also not with a lot of paint on my brush, just working in a downward angle. And as always, just with finer details like this, just really take your time, and also have a little decent look through Google as well. Just at different images of floral patterns and just flowers in general, just to get a good grasp on how to go about getting these designs down. And now to begin highlighting, I decided to use some Strachan Green. So essentially just following over all of the Lauren Forest for this part. And traditionally I know that flowers aren't usually this sort of colour, but I will be working up to Wraithbone shortly as well. But of course you can use any colours that you like. I just decided to go with these particular colours as I wanted it to sort of blend in with the not only the cloak itself, but just the rest of the colour scheme as well. And now just for the center of the flower, I'm just going to add a small amount of Vallejo black, but of course any black acrylic paint will do just fine. As it'll just add a little bit more depth and realism to the flower. And now just moving on to some wraithbone. But as you can see, I'll also be mixing in some of the wraithbone with the Strachan green just to gradually build it up. So as you can see initially, I'm just trying to get the outlines looking quite nice. One thing you'll find, well, one thing that I certainly find is quite difficult when painting flower designs on cloaks, or just painting them in general, is getting the overlapping outline looking right between each petal. So I'd highly recommend, if you have an older model, or even just if you just want to use a paint palette or a piece of paper or something like that, just to practice it a bit, I'd highly recommend doing that before going ahead and doing it on a miniature that you've just spent hours on, you know, for the first time. So definitely something worth considering. And as you can see, just using some Strachan green to highlight over the Lauren forest, and just adding a few final details just to add a little bit more character to it. And also just thinning down some of that wraith bone, as I felt it was a little bit intense, so I'm just using, again, some of the Strachan green just to sort of blend in the colours a little bit more. Just closer to the end of each of the petals. And here is a photo of the completed miniature, so I've added a few minor details in there as well, which you can try out yourself. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again very, very soon.